For over 2 millennia, an empire lay silent, unseen, beneath the golden earth of Linton, China. A colossal secret, buried with a purpose so grand, so absolute, it defies modern comprehension. This was not merely a tomb, but an entire subterranean world, crafted to serve one man in the afterlife. What drives a ruler to commission such an undertaking? A question whispered through centuries, echoing from the silent ranks of an army made of clay. An army whose very existence poses more questions than answers about the man they were sworn to protect. He was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. A man whose ambition reshaped a continent, whose paranoia sculpted an empire, and whose final command etched his legacy into the very earth. He sought not just power in life, but dominion in death. An eternal reign. But how does one ensure such a legacy? What kind of preparations would be made for an emperor who believed himself divine, destined to rule beyond the veil of mortality? The answer, startling in its scale, lay dormant, just beneath the surface, waiting for a serendipitous reveal. The year was 1974. A parched spring. Drought plagued the Lintong district, near Xi'an. Villagers, desperate, decided to dig a new well. A simple act, driven by need. No grand archaeological expedition. No seismic surveys. Just farmers, picks, and shovels, disturbing ancient soil. They sought water. What they found, instead, was history. A shard of clay. A glint of bronze. The first whispers of a secret that had guarded its existence with remarkable tenacity. A discovery that would rewrite our understanding of imperial China. As their shovels bit deeper, the farmers uncovered more. A strange, hard red earth. Then, fragments. Pieces of pottery. Not simple shards, but something intricate. Something suggesting human form. They initially dismissed them as ancient relics or even idols. But the sheer volume was staggering. More fragments. More limbs. Then, a distinct head, life-sized, staring out from the dark. This was no ordinary find. This was monumental. Their lives, and the world's perception of ancient China, would never be the same. The earth had begun to yield its secrets. Imagine the moment. A farmer's hand, brushing away dirt, revealing a detailed, painted face. An individual, yet one of thousands. Each face unique. Each expression distinct. Warriors frozen in time. What must have gone through their minds? Fear? Wonder? A sense of trespassing on something sacred? The initial reports were cautious, almost disbelieving. An army of clay? How could such a thing exist? It challenged everything known about the funerary practices of the era. A hidden world, slowly, reluctantly, revealing its silent inhabitants. Archaeologists quickly took over from the farmers. What began as a well-digging project transformed into one of the most significant archaeological sites in human history. They uncovered Pit 1, a vast underground vault containing rows upon rows of infantry and chariots. An organized military formation, ready for battle. But battle against whom? In the darkness, the scale of the find grew almost daily. Pit after pit. Soldier after soldier. The sheer number was mind-boggling. An entire standing army, silently waiting. The first layer of the emperor's grand, macabre design. As excavations continued, the numbers grew. Not hundreds, but thousands. Each warrior, a testament to meticulous craftsmanship and unimaginable human labor. This wasn't a small guard detail, it was a full-scale spectral army. The sheer scale demanded answers. Who was this emperor who commanded such devotion, such resources, even for his death? And what was his ultimate purpose in burying an army of this magnitude? The Terracotta Army's silent ranks pose an existential question about power, belief, and the human desire to transcend mortality. Qin Shi Huang, born in 259 BC, was a man of extraordinary vision and ruthless ambition. He conquered 6 warring states, unifying China for the first time in history. He standardized weights, measures, currency, and even the written language. A reformer. A conqueror. He built the first sections of the Great Wall. But beneath this veneer of order lay a deep-seated fear, the fear of death, and the loss of his hard-won empire. His quest for immortality was relentless. He truly believed he could carry his dominion into the next life. This monumental army was just one facet of that belief. Why were thousands of life-sized soldiers buried? Ancient Chinese beliefs held that the afterlife mirrored the present. An emperor would need his court, his concubines, and most importantly, his army. The terracotta warriors were not merely symbols, they were proxies. Each soldier, each archer, each charioteer, crafted with astonishing detail, was meant to protect the Emperor Qin in the spiritual realm. To guard against unseen enemies. To ensure his eternal reign. A literal army of the dead, for the king of the dead. A testament to a belief system utterly alien to modern sensibilities. The Terracotta Army pits, vast as they are merely a fraction of a much larger funerary complex known as the Qin Shi Huang Mausoleum. The necropolis covers an astonishing 56 square kilometers. It's an entire city beneath the earth. Imagine administrative buildings, stables, gardens, all created to serve one man in his eternal sleep. The army was just one layer of defense. What else lies within this monumental city of the dead? What other aspects of imperial life were deemed essential for the emperor's journey into eternity? The implications are staggering. Each terracotta warrior is unique. Not a single face is identical. This level of individualization is astounding for what was essentially a mass-produced army. Sculptors likely used a limited set of molds for heads, then added individual features by hand, beards, hairstyles, ears, expressions. The sheer logistical feat, thousands of skilled artisans. Unimaginable labor. But why this dedication to individual identity? Did the emperor believe their unique spirits would better serve him? Or was it simply a reflection of his own grandiose vision, where every detail mattered for his eternal realm? When first unearthed, the warriors were vibrantly painted. Crimson, green, purple, blue. But exposure to air caused the pigments to flake and fade almost instantly. A heartbreaking loss of ancient artistry. Beyond the clay, the army was equipped with real bronze weapons, crossbows, spears, swords. Sharpened, still deadly after 2 millennia. Advanced metallurgical techniques ensured their preservation. These were not mere symbolic offerings, these were truly armed guards. What battles did the emperor foresee in the afterlife? What enemies did he fear? For all the marvel of the Terracotta Army, the ultimate prize, the greatest mystery, remains untouched. The central tomb mound of Qin Shi Huang. A massive pyramid-like structure, rising above the ground like a natural hill. It has never been opened. Not for fear of damaging priceless artifacts, though that is a factor. But for something far more sinister. Ancient texts speak of its deadly defenses. For over 2,000 years, this monumental structure has held its secrets, guarding the emperor within. What unthinkable wonders, or horrors, lie in wait? Our primary source for the tomb's interior comes from Sima Qian, a grand historian writing a century after the emperor's death. His accounts are chilling. He describes a miniature universe, with constellations of pearls on the ceiling and flowing rivers of mercury. Yes, mercury. In astonishing quantities. A toxic, deadly landscape designed to mimic the emperor's earthly domain, and to deter any would-be intruders. Was this mere legend? Or a terrifyingly accurate blueprint of what lies beneath? The very air around the mound today shows elevated mercury levels. The presence of mercury is not just a theoretical deterrent. It's a real, tangible threat. High concentrations of mercury vapor could prove lethal to anyone attempting to enter the tomb. Modern scientific surveys have indeed detected abnormally high levels of mercury in the soil samples above the tomb, lending chilling credibility to Sima Qian's ancient claims. This isn't just superstition. It's a calculated, chemical defense. An emperor so determined to protect his eternal rest, he poisoned his own grave. What untold wealth, or terrifying secrets, are worth such a deadly safeguard? Beyond mercury, Sima Qian also hinted at automatically triggered crossbows and other mechanical traps, designed to fire upon intruders. Such advanced mechanisms suggest a level of ancient Chinese engineering far beyond what was previously imagined for the Qin dynasty. These weren't crude devices. They were precision instruments, built to endure, built to kill. This raises fascinating questions about the technological prowess of Qin Shi Huang's era. What other engineering marvels lie hidden? What other secrets of ancient innovation might be locked within the tomb's undisturbed core? Despite the lure of discovery, the tomb remains sealed. The mercury levels, the potential booby traps, and the sheer scale of the challenge are daunting. Current archaeological ethics prioritize preservation over excavation. Scientists want to ensure that once opened, the tomb and its contents can be protected, not destroyed by exposure, as the terracotta warrior's paint was. The technology simply isn't ready. This means a delicate balance, the desire to learn, weighed against the responsibility to preserve. A waiting game that could last for decades, perhaps even centuries more. If the Terracotta Army is just a guard detail, what grander treasures, what more intimate revelations, await within the central tomb? Priceless artifacts, perhaps. Manuscripts. Royal regalia. Or perhaps something entirely unexpected. The final resting place of Qin Shi Huang, surrounded by his symbolic empire. It could hold the keys to understanding not just the emperor himself, but the very foundations of unified China. What philosophical texts? What personal effects? What ultimate truths about his reign and his vision might yet be uncovered? The Terracotta Army offered us a glimpse, a tantalizing preview of the first emperor's ambition. It speaks of a man obsessed with control, even over death. But the true story, the full picture of his eternal dominion, remains under lock and key, literally beneath tons of earth, mercury, and ancient steel. The eventual opening of Qin Shi Huang's tomb will not just be an archaeological event, it will be a moment of profound historical revelation. A direct dialogue with an emperor who ruled over 2 millennia ago. The question isn't if, but when. And what astonishing secrets will finally be brought into the light?